Some.
Jesus, that does go, doesn't it?
Oh. Woo! Holy shit!
Jesus, that is so much power.
Very excited because we're going to be meeting up with local radio station 6BR. Rob Dean, who's the president of TOCWA, which is the Tesla Owners Club of Western Australia, has organised an interview with 6BR, or at least a meeting with the view to a proper interview. So very excited because 6BR, being a radio station, their microphones are obviously a lot louder than my little YouTube channel here. So very excited to perhaps get an opportunity to spread the word a little bit wider than just the very immediate Tesla community. And let's not forget, we're in sleepy old Western Australia. So many people in the wider community here have never heard of a Tesla, and those that have heard of electric vehicles probably think that it's a technology or a concept that's way off into the future. So I'm sure the situation is very different in the Bay Area of California or in Norway. 56%, that's a statistic, 56% of all new vehicles, all new cars in Norway are EVs. So an incredible statistic, and I'm sure we'll get there one day as well. For me, I think it's a foregone conclusion. I think it's a matter of when rather than if. So I'm sure we'll get there. But yeah, look, Tesla doesn't spend, and rightly so, they don't spend a single cent on advertising. So it's really up to over-enthusiastic Tesla owners like myself and others at the club to spread the word. So very excited to do that, and very excited to meet the two gentlemen that are coming out from 6BR, namely Chris Ilsley and Ben Aylett. Ben Aylett is the technology correspondent for the radio station, and Chris Ilsley. So I'm sure Ben will be fairly interested in the Tesla, being a technology person. Not quite sure what to expect from Chris. So he would probably describe himself as a petrol head or something of that nature. So it's going to be very interesting to see his reactions to the car. I just hope that he's willing to take it for a drive, and he's open-minded and very interested to see what his reaction is going to be like to the car. Hopefully I'll get an opportunity to document some of that and show you guys as well. So yeah, we'll see how the events unfold. So stay tuned. Let me introduce you to Ben Aylett. He's the tech reporter for 6PR, and he's one of the very kind gentlemen that we're going to be meeting today to have a little bit of a chat about Tesla. I didn't realise, just speaking to Ben, this is his first time sitting in a Tesla.
My very first time inside any Tesla vehicle. So I've been watching these vehicles from afar, just, I suppose, dreaming of one day where I'll be sitting in one, and here we go.
Fantastic.
It's happening right now.
As I said, this was exciting enough for me to begin with, but considering this is your first time in a Tesla, we'll actually put the aircon down a little bit so it's not so loud, so we can hear each other. That's a bit better. Actually, this is one of the things that's pretty cool. You can put your finger on that.
No way.
And actually, we'll probably put the aircon back up so you can actually feel it.
Yeah.
But yeah, feel free to put your finger on there.
Oh,
and
that's
you can,
insane.
So that's the aircon mode, and you can actually split it to have it go past your ears
and keep each hand cool.
That's
leave the face warm. That's awesome.
If that's what you prefer. And one of the great things here is you can leave it on when you leave the car.
Yep.
Or dog mode. So
I heard about this. Yeah, this is really cool.
Fantastic feature, isn't it?
Yeah. So those that are not sure, the dog mode, it correct me if I'm wrong, but it sets the cabin temperature to a certain level. It also plays music. Is that right? It can?
It can do, yeah.
And I suppose the most important thing about dog mode is that we'll actually display something on the screen to say, don't worry, the inside temperature is this, my dog is safe, no need to break windows or anything like that.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And he will actually have a caricature of a dog waving its tail as well.
Yeah. Okay. So on average, you've got to drive 2 million miles to get an accident in a Tesla while it's on autopilot. So you got 2 million miles.
Precisely. And so not only have you got all those accident prevention measures in the car, but should something happen, there's a huge crumble zone because there is no internal combustion engine in the front.
Yeah.
So when I pop the bonnet, and we can do that with the app as well, or you
On
can
the screen.
Or you can. There you go.
There
You've
it
just
is.
done it. So yeah, when we lift that up, you'll see there's no V8 under there.
I'm kind of torn between that because, you know, performance, everyone thinks performance is like V8s and turbos and you know, burning the petrol, but you know, the Tesla, especially the dual motor ones, which is this one, I believe, they haul like crazy.
It does 0 to 100 in 3.4 seconds, which is, and to emphasize that point, if this makes any sense at all, it's a fast 3.4 seconds. Because you've got that instant torque,
Yeah.
the first part of that
Yeah.
is incredibly quick.
Yeah, that's
because
right.
it's so responsive, and with the two motors and constant four-wheel drive, and an internal combustion engine can't adjust the traction control as quickly because of the lag as a electric motor can. So you get better traction, you get that instant torque,
Yes.
and you get a hell of a ride.
Yeah. Now the car wonks probably understand that internal combustion engines do have a torque curve. So as the car picks up revs, it starts to build the torque. Not so with electric motors, because you get all the torque from absolutely nothing, from zero is bang, and it's a straight torque line.
And it's available, it's instant, it's on demand, available throughout the whole, you know, it's always there throughout the whole curve. So there isn't that process with a internal combustion engine car. It will have gears. This has got a single fixed gear, a 9-to-1 ratio.
Yep.
And so with an internal combustion engine, you've got to put your foot down, you'll hear the revs, you'll hear a whole lot of noise, then you'll get to the optimal rev range, and then you might get the torque. Whereas with this, it just happens.
Excellent. Well, I think I've seen a few other people turn up, and also got Chris Ilsley, so we might
Call it a wrap?
call it a wrap, and we'll have a chat. We're not too far from the freeway, so we'll see how that 0 to 100 goes. Whoa. Holy crap.
Barely even touched it.
I know, barely even touched it. That's the scary part. I just gave it a gentle squeeze and holy shit.
Now there is a chill mode. If you feel too intimidated by the power under the foot, you can put it into chill mode, but people get very addicted to that very quickly.
Oh, yeah, of course. People get very addicted.
We can put it on autopilot on the way back if you like.
Oh, yeah.
So there's two parts to the autopilot. There's the traditional autopilot, and then there's navigate on autopilot.
Ooh.
NOA, which was the update that came through about 12 weeks ago. What the difference between the two is, with autopilot, it can autonomously change lanes, but you've got to tell it to. So if you wanted to change lanes, you just press the indicator and it will change lanes for you.
Right.
That's how you tell it to change lanes. With navigate on autopilot, it will automatically monitor the traffic, and if there's another lane that's moving slower than your lane, as long as it's still within the speed limit, it will automatically turn the indicator on, and it will overtake the car and slide back in to its original lane all by itself. And whether you're taking a turn or going straight, or it will accelerate, it will slow down, it will do everything it needs to. It's basically autonomous overtaking.
That's great. Yeah, and with the auto park or summon, just the way that it drove on its own, it was very conservative, which I also like. So this is very similar to the autonomous driving I've experienced with the Navia little autonomous buses.
Yeah, right. Yep.
And they can drive within millimeters of other traffic and pedestrians and things, but it's also very conservative when it comes to things like intersections and overtaking.
Absolutely.
It was quite amazing.
Was that the RAC?
That's the one.
IntelliBus? Yeah. No, I've been in that about 3 times. It's fantastic, and it doesn't even have a steering wheel. No. It just has an Xbox controller, doesn't it? If you need to take over manually.
Yeah.
No, it's fantastic.
Okay.
Feel free to give us something. Oh!
Woo! Holy shit! Tell me you got that.
Oh, we got it. We've got it on video. We've got that.
Woohoo! Oh boy. Okay. I gave that the full boot then.
Now it's a common misconception that Teslas are quiet cars. There was nothing quiet about that.
Well, no,
That was very loud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was all here. I want to do that again.
Oh, of course you do.
Yep.
You just.
Oh, we've got another chance here.
Oh yeah, give it a go.
Okay.
Go. I like the way you're holding your breath.
Yeah. Woo. Wow.
And I,
So that was unfortunately we cracked 107 then. Just yeah.
that's okay. We'll edit that out. So to engage autopilot,
Yep.
press down on the stalk hard twice, all the way down on the right one.
On the right one.
Yep. Yep. And now it's driving itself. The 2 lanes tells you it's driving itself.
Look at that. Oh, this is nuts. Does it like you to keep some sort of contact
Yes,
with the wheel?
you
Okay.
have to. So
Just
in the
little weight on it.
in the disclaimer, it tells you to keep your hands on the
Right.
steering wheel at full time.
Okay, we're coming up to traffic. There's a brake
So-
light. I'm hovering over the brake. I haven't touched it yet.
Just let it do
And
its
it's
thing.
slowed down.
Yeah. So it's the autopilot is automatically. I've got it automatically set to start at 3 kilometers below the speed limit.
Yep.
So it's 100k here, and it's at 97. So
Oh, that's right, because it's also reading the speed limits as well.
correct. It can't, because of patent restrictions. It
Yep.
can't actually physically read the signs. It takes the speeds off
Google
the
Maps.
software.
Yeah,
Off
okay.
Open Maps.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, open maps.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But try, if that car's sufficiently far behind us, actually look, just try changing lanes and see what it does. Just press the indicator.
Okay, right
Yep.
behind us. at the moment.
Doesn't matter, do it now.
Really?
See, yeah, trust it. There you go. See, it won't do it. The car's come up in red, it's telling you you can't do it because there's cars there.
Oh God, there is just so much happening. Okay, I'll cancel that.
Yep, that's
It's
fine.
freaking me out a little.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay, all right. Now we've got a motorcycle coming up, and it's been spotted on the screen as well.
And differentiated as a motorcycle. And it's braking for it. There it is.
Oh. Now, once again, I've not given any input to the controls. This is all run by the car itself, or should I say, a computer on wheels.
Exactly. Precisely. Feel free to change lanes now. Oh, actually, there's a car coming up. Yep, you can override at any time.
Yep, cancel it. No, God damn
But
it.
that's right. You can. The only thing that will happen is it will find if you can. You just got to apply a bit of pressure so it knows you got hands on the steering.
Right.
That's all right. You
So
didn't trust
I
it.
wasn't ready then.
That's all right.
I've got all sorts of other things happening.
Yeah.
Just cancel that. Just swipe from the
Sorry, it's an Android. Sorry.
Yes.
Yep. Used to pressing on the iPhone.
Yeah.
So you'll need to engage autopilot again. That's it.
Ding dong.
Yeah.
Okay. Indicating.
Yeah. And just got to apply a bit of pressure so it knows you got hands on the wheel.
All right.
And just change lanes all by itself.
All right. Oh, that's amazing. There's a lot to take in. Now I know how my wife feels. So we did a test for the 2018 Corolla hybrid, and that had lane keep assist
Okay.
and adaptive cruise control, but it wasn't sort of able to change lanes and read traffic to the level that this does. But I still got on the freeway, and without telling her what the features were, I said, "Okay, take your hands off the wheel." And yeah, I'm sorry.
You've got that was karma, was it?
Yeah,
you got
it's
your own
karma
back.
completely.
You've
So
just
change lanes?
yeah, but you overrode
Oh, okay.
because it's just natural. You wanted to
Yeah.
So it takes a little bit of getting comfortable enough with it to trust
Yeah,
it
like
to do its
anything.
own thing. Yeah. So you're not on autopilot now.
That's it. Come straight off.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's another thing as well, because it's the best of both worlds. You don't have to completely surrender to the car, but if you want to use it, you can. So the people that still have that need for control, you can.
You've got the best of both worlds.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a car like any other. It's just, and you can drive it like any other.
Yeah.
It's just that it's got all these extra things which you can, but you don't have to use.
Yeah.
You've got the optionality. It's completely up to you.
That is really cool. And I think we've successfully lost Chris.
So he does the show from 8 p.m. to midnight.
Yes,
Isn't he?
that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. I think he might be interested. I haven't talked to him about this, but I think having you guys in would be a great idea for a show.
Oh, would love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Look, we're obviously very enthusiastic about these things, and
Yeah.
as I said at the beginning of this, your microphones are much louder than mine. So,
Yes.
you know, Tesla doesn't spend a cent on advertising.
Yeah.
So it's really up to extra enthusiastic owners like us to get the word out, because the public in general are completely unaware that there is quite a compelling alternative to, you know, burning fossil fuels.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
And I mean, this is the safest car on the road as well.
Yeah.
So
Cool. And now, with the marketing side of things, I mean, obviously Elon Musk is a factor. He's that sort of, it's almost a cult of personality that's surrounding Elon. Do you have any
I drink the Kool-Aid, yes.
You drink, okay. But do you have any times when Elon might have a brain fart and tweet something that just makes everyone go, what do you want?
Yes, I've had one instance, and there was 2 words: funding secured. Those were the only, in my opinion, from my point of view, that's the only part of all his tweets. And I mean, he's an expressive guy. You know, he said some people colour their hairs, others modify their cars. He expresses himself on Twitter, and it's one of the, you know, I mean, what other CEO have you know, one of the guys in our, he's part of the Australian Electric Vehicle Association.
Yeah.
He tweeted Elon and said, we live in WA, there's 3 million people here.
Yeah.
There's only a single supercharger, no service centre, it's just not good enough.
Yeah.
And Elon tweeted back and he said, we need more superchargers, can you put some in? And he said, sure. I mean, what CEO of what other company? So,
True.
so
Yeah.
there's, you know, the downside of that is that anything that he might be thinking about, he might put on Twitter. Some people may take offence at some of the things he says. Some people may not agree with it.
Yeah.
But for me, it was just those 2 words, because that's what he ended up having the issue with the SEC, the
Yes.
authorities.
That's right. Yeah, because that was a bit of a blunder. Yeah.
Yeah, and look, I mean, you know, he's a human being. No one's perfect.
Yeah.
If you had to pick on him, that's the one thing that I can identify. So that's one little thing that he's done bad.
Yeah.
What has he done good? Well, I mean,
Yeah. True.
do I need to go on?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
he's got SpaceX and Tesla, his 2 biggest projects, and they're all about humanity and trying to improve the lives of everyone.
Yeah, it's all next step stuff. Yeah.
SpaceX is for us to be a, you know, in years and years to come, to be a multi-planetary species. So it's our plan B. If we ruin this planet, we'll have another one. So we don't extinct human beings.
Yep.
And Tesla is all about not turning this planet into a garbage bin.
Yeah. I'm not too sure if we're sort of heading the right way back.
Do you want to try the navigate?
Yes. Good idea. Let's do that.
Sorted. And now it's telling you where to go.
Oh, okay. Oh, there it is. Got it. Okay. Now, does it shout at me?
No, I've got it turned off.
Good.
Yeah. So
I don't know about anyone else, but I'm okay with the directions on a screen. Just glance at it and you're good to go. But having some sort of condescending voice saying, please make a U-turn.
well, it doesn't say please.
No?
It just tells you where to go, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Literally tells you where to go.
It's only a matter of time until it takes the wheel and says, look, forget this, I'll go. Come on. Take a back seat. Just nice gentle. I'm really interested to see what Chris thinks of this.
So recording now.
Alright.
This
So
is-
what's this? Save?
So yeah, you can press save if you want. There you go. And
Save.
now it's saved, so we don't have to remember that again.
Beautiful. So it's all good?
Yep. Now to go forward, you got to put into drive. So press that right down, and
Nice.
now in drive. Yep. Now don't forget, this one's a lot quicker than the other one.
Right,
So-
okay. In other words, watch your foot.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Is it newer than the other one, or just a different model too? Just a different engine?
The newest. This is one of the first ones in WA. So this
Yep.
one's about 6 months old.
Indicators are in the same position?
Yes, European as well.
I was saying I had a Escort RS 2000 Mark II, and that had indicators on that side. So, funnily enough, driving without indicators is not a problem. With indicators on that side.
Just takes a little bit of getting used to, but. Did you drive the other one as well?
Yeah.
So this is in the same setting, the single pedal driving.
Yep.
So yeah, you're obviously used to it already. Feel free to give it some.
Jesus, that does go, doesn't it? Just make sure we don't get speeding tickets.
Yeah, absolutely. Just go on the freeway. You can
That's
go
what
to
I'm going to
100.
do.
Yeah. So, have you driven a Tesla apart from Chris's earlier today?
No,
So-
first time. No.
First time.
I mean, I've seen them parked.
Yep.
And my son works at a golf club where one of the members has got one. He told me about it, but yeah, no, this is the first time. First time I've been inside a Tesla. I mean, obviously I've looked inside them, but first time I've been inside them. So it's good.
So you obviously love your cars from what I've heard on the radio.
I'm a petrol head from way back here.
Yeah. So, I mean, how does this sit with you, considering?
Good.
Yeah?
Good, yeah, because as I say, it's just a matter of adjusting, like with the accelerator, and that's just a matter of getting your mind around it. It's not hard. No, it's good. I like the steering wheel. Steering's really direct.
Yeah, I've got it set. There's 3 modes:
Yeah.
comfortable, standard, and sport. So that's in sport at the
It's
moment.
really good. I like that because
Yeah.
it's a good setting, and it's
You just point it and it goes
you
to
can
where you
feel
point it.
exactly. That was one thing, actually, funnily enough, my Escort had very, very direct steering. So I had that from a very young age, and I loved it. I loved it.
So yeah, you can see. It's interesting to see you're not even putting your foot on the brake.
No,
You've completely got used to.
because I can. The reason being because I'm listening to what the car's telling me,
Mm.
and it was interesting because I was taught to drive by a pilot. Told me to listen to the engine, use the engine to slow me down, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So I just know that okay, if I take my foot off the accelerator, the car starts to slow. So I just go with it.
The only problem is there's not much to listen to in this one.
No, but you still
That's
get. Funnily enough, there isn't much to listen to, but you still got
Road noise.
feeling. Yeah,
And
you,
yeah.
you still got the feeling of what you're doing. Like
Still
I know
getting that
I'm
feedback. Yeah.
steering this, and the steering's nice. It's obviously power steering, but it's not excessive. It's not light power steering. You can
Do you want to
get
go
in
left
feedback
onto
with
the
that.
freeway?
Oh, okay. Oh, no, it's all right.
Or we can
I'll
just
go-
do a
go
U-turn.
right.
Yeah.
I'll go right.
Oh, go right.
Yeah,
Go-
yeah.
Yeah, go north. Feel free
Go
to.
eat that mini.
Yeah, you just feel the power. Yeah. It just wants to chomp it.
Yeah,
To own one of these, I'd have to have a radar detector. Absolutely, no question about it.
Well, the good thing is you've always got the speed there,
Yep,
and if you put it on autopilot, it generally won't go above the speed limit.
yep.
So you've got to manually make it go over
You've got
that.
to force it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like this. You know here that car's disappeared, and I actually trust that enough to know that I could move over.
And that's amazing that you trust that after driving the car for what, 10 minutes?
It gives you a feeling of security. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Added to which I'm enough of a tech head that I do trust technology. I know its limitations, but I do trust it. Yeah.
So the limitations of this are that you're still completely responsible for the car.
Yes.
As it is.
Yes.
So it hasn't got to that point as yet. But yeah, there's a lot that the car can do for you.
The thing is too that the other thing I like, that speed, seeing that, not having an instrument in front's not a problem. I can see the road. I'm aware of the traffic around me. Yep.
And you know, that's great. I was mentioning to Ben, my father-in-law who's 75, he didn't even realise until 5 minutes in that he wasn't even looking at a cluster panel. That's not there.
I mean, this is amazing too because you've got the road in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good visibility from
Yeah.
the nose. The nose goes down
Yeah,
quite
it is.
aggressively.
In fact, you actually feel like you're looking at the road.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got that SUV feeling of being up high.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
No, it really does. It's very good.
But see, that's interesting. I didn't even realise that. So
it went red, yeah.
yeah, it went red, even though it's not on autopilot. Just to warn you that there's a car there.
Yeah. I looked behind, I verified where he was.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, why turn off a feature just because you're not actually using it for a certain thing?
I'm one of these people, I believe, if you've got a feature, why wouldn't you use it?
Absolutely. And, you know, that's, as Chris was saying earlier, this car has 8 cameras. Is that a camera there? No. The car's got 8 cameras. They were designed for the auto driving feature,
Yep.
but why not use them as a dash cam?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they've just enabled the software. Now I've got a little USB drive in there.
Yep.
It captures the image from the front camera, but the 2 side cameras as well.
Jesus, that is so much power.
Yeah, so that
This drives differently to the other one, I'm guessing because it's an all-wheel drive.
Yes.
It's constant all-wheel
constant all-wheel drive.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So traction will be a little bit better. You'll have. Yeah,
It feels like it's hugging the road a lot more. It's like it's, this is where I am.
and it's a lot. It's probably a couple of 100 kilos. Well, actually more than that. Probably 300-400 kilos heavier.
Yep.
Because it's got a bigger battery pack
There's
and the
another
extra.
favourite spot for the
Oh
camera.
yes,
too.
yeah, no, that one. But yeah, because all that weight is right down the bottom on the chassis, that low centre of gravity means it steers like it's on tracks.
How much is this one worth if it's not a rude question?
Not at all. So like I said, they start on the road at 75, but this is the performance model.
Yep.
So now they're 120. When I bought it, it was about 104.
Still, this is compatible with any European performance car, which means price-wise it's competitive.
Well, I was saying to Ben,
There's plenty of room in the back. Ben's not cramped.
it's not squishy.
Yeah.
oh, look, and I've got my, I'm 6 foot and I've got my feet,
look at
straight. Yeah.
You know?
So yeah, I can come forward a lot more.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, in terms of European cars, I don't know any other car below $500,000 that you can buy that can go 0 to 100 in 3.4 seconds.
No.
So, so this is what I was saying before. That 100 grand, it's a cheap car for what you're getting. And the fact that, and I was making this comparison between a Corolla, which is the 3rd most popular car in Australia.
Yep.
Not the hybrid version, but a standard. Let's say that cost you $25,000. Over 10 years, it will cost you $20,000 in depreciation. It will be worth $5 grand in 10 years' time.
Yep.
It will cost you $2,000 a year to fuel up. So that's $20,000 over 10 years. And you'll spend about $1,000 on maintenance and servicing every year for 10 years. So that car, so those 10 years worth of motoring will cost you $50,000.
Wow.
Now this car,
that's right. Yeah. What's the price of those? I think from memory it's about all up when you factor everything in, licensing, insurance, fuel, the whole bit, works out to about on average 45 cents a kilometre.
oh, yeah, depending on how much you drive it, obviously. But this, so let's say you spend $85,000 on it. So it's not this version; it's the one lower.
No, you'd have to have this version.
And I agree, by the way. But let's say you get the $85,000 version has pretty much everything that this does, but apart from the extra motor, and goes does 0 to 100 in 5.6 or 5.4 seconds. So it's still fast. But let's say you don't spend the $2,000 on fuel because you charge at home off your solar system and it's free, or you charge at shopping centres for free. Tesla have said there's no servicing for these.
Yep.
So there's $1,000 a year. And Elon Musk said that this will be the first car, apart from limited edition or supercars or exotics, that's going to appreciate rather than depreciate in value. And that's
Actually, that's a good question, because that was going to be my question. What's the resale value like? Well, you've just answered it.
well, Tesla's prior to now, so that they'll start appreciating when you get the full self-driving.
Yes.
Happening in the full blown out version, so maybe in 3-4 years time. But already Teslas have got half the depreciation rate of standard cars. So, but let's say it doesn't appreciate. Let's say it just keeps its value.
Yep.
Now, how's this? If it keeps its value and you didn't have to pay for maintenance, you didn't have to pay for fuel, in 10 years, you've had 10 years of cost-free motoring.
Yeah.
Because you can sell, let's say you can sell the car for $85,000.
Yeah, and you haven't had to pay all the other costs. Insurance, what's the insurance like?
So we've got a third car. So we've got this car and we've got a plug-in hybrid, a Holden Volt.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so that's what my wife drives. But
Yeah.
we've got a 5.7 litre V8 Lexus, which is basically a Land Cruiser. But we only have that to pull the caravan around, so it just sits in the shed. But that costs me $1,300 a year to insure, and it's a third of the price of this one, a third of the value of this one.
Yeah.
This costs me $1,400 a year to insure, and it's three times the price.
And it's a $120,000 motor car.
And it's
That's all right. Yeah.
So insurance, because this is the safest car on the road, and it's got all these accident avoidance features. I was saying to Ben earlier that the chance of having a accident, numbers came out from the US, in this car on autopilot is 1 in 2 million miles. This is in the US statistics.
Here it'd be better because there's far less traffic on the roads.
True. And the average for a normal average car is 1 in 500,000 miles. So you're 4 times safer letting the software drive you on the road.
Yeah, and the software's improving all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And the difference, I think you're twice as safe between having autopilot on and just driving the Tesla yourself.
Yeah.
But just by being in a Tesla, you're twice as safe.
And you're sort of aware. I mean, all this stuff. I'm looking at all the stuff to do with the cars and everything, and I'm sort of overtly aware of everything that's around me as a result. So like now, I'm just backing my foot off the accelerator. I'm reading the traffic, and I now know I can go.
Yep.
And the other thing is, if something appeared, I'd just know, bang.
Yep.
And then, he's pulling out, I can take my foot off the accelerator.
And the great thing for safety is that because of the regenerative braking, the car starts to slow down and brake before your foot even hits the brake.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Because of the regenerative braking.
So before you get to the brake, you're already braking.
Exactly.
I can feel my phone vibrating. $10 says it's the wife. This is an amazing motor vehicle. It really is. This is incredible, Ben.
It is. It is absolutely
It is like,
amazing.
wow. Yeah. It's mind blowing.
So when are
So
you?
Tesla can make cars, mate.
Well, there's no doubt about that.
So when are you getting on the phone and ordering one?
Mate, if I had the money, I seriously would.
But that's my whole point. Is I bought this car purely.
Now,
I used
what
to be
I want to do, if I'm not mistaken, I'll go up like that.
perfect. That's it.
And
You know what? Why don't we try getting the car to self-park between those two cars by itself?
okay.
You get going enough to make it do that?
Yep.
All right. So go stalk right down. Actually, might have to go back a bit because we need to go that way.
Okay.
Back a bit more before we go forward. That's it. Nice. There we go. And now go all the way down. So just go past those cars and go close to them. And just go a little bit past the red one.
Yep.
So keep on going. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Keep on going. Keep on going. Yeah, that should do. Stop. Press the brake.
Yep.
Now put it into reverse.
Yep.
And press that.
This one's
Yeah,
start.
yeah, and take your hands off the wheel. You'll have a couple of goes at it, so we'll go back and forth. This car's coming out, so just be ready to take over if you need to, but just feel free to trust it.
I'm trusting
They're only $100,000 cars to the side of us, so they're only Teslas.
waiting for this lady to move.
Yep. So see how it stopped then? That's because it
realised she
recognised
was
the
there.
car. Yep.
No, I'm willing to trust it. So yeah.
It's great seeing the wheel spin in front of you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just making little adjustments.
Do you know this would really solve a problem for a lot of people.
Yeah, it would.
People who find, and forget the stereotypical thing about women or anything, people who find parking difficult will really, really appreciate it.
So this is my whole point, that the Corolla will cost you $50,000 over that 10-year period. So this is expensive, but it's like a solar system. So you've got all the money up front, but then you get it all back later. So this car is actually cheaper to own over 10 years than a Corolla.
Yep.
But as this is what I said to my father-in-law and my dad. I said, don't forget, you might be 75 now, but you'll be 85 and 95 in 10, 20 years' time. In 10, 20 years' time, this car will drive itself. You won't lose your mobility as a senior.
Yeah, that's right.
Because what they'll do is they'll issue licenses to seniors on the condition that they're in a self-drive car.
When your driver's license, it'll be an operator's ticket.
Yeah, and they'll say you can only be in a vehicle that self-drives.
Yeah.
So, no, Mr. Jones, you haven't lost your license. You can't drive a car by yourself, but you can be in charge of a self-driving car.
Exactly.
So he comes in, programs it in his phone, says, take me to church, and it takes him to church.
Exactly.
You know, yeah.
And if people are worried about, especially older people, taking a while to get used to a car driving them, what I say to that is, think back 30, 40 years, if you got into a lift, there'd be a stool in there and there'd be an operator with a lever.
Yeah. That's true, yeah.
Now, if you got into a lift now and there'd be a person there, you would feel uneasy, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you'd probably call the cops.
Exactly. Because you trust pressing the buttons more.
It'll take you where you go, yeah.
And if you know that this car already in its current iteration is already twice as safe as the software, by that time the goal is 10 times as safe, then you'll feel you'll be more comfortable pressing buttons on this screen than letting your 18-year-old nephew drive you around.
Your 18-year-old nephew is probably a lunatic. So. No, this is really good. Now, what's the... that's right, it's press this button.
You don't have to do it. It's already put into park because it was self-parked itself.
No, I'm talking about switching it off in inverted
It's off.
commas.
It's off. You can just put the air conditioning off, but yeah, it's off.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when
There's
you're
no key
driving
to
on the
turn.
road, what I find is the absence of engine noise is replaced by road noise anyway, because even in a conventional car, what you hear, unless you had a really barking exhaust, what you hear is just simply...
Once you get over about 60 kilometres an hour,
you're just hearing road noise anyway.
hitting road noise, yeah.
This is beautiful. Wow.
Chris, can I just ask you, so I've got a YouTube channel. Is it okay to put this footage up on
Absolutely.
there? Okay, appreciate that.
Not a problem at all.
Thank you very much.
Just give credit to 6PR.
Oh, absolutely. No,
But,
really,
yeah, no problems at all.
really
Happy
appreciate
to
it.
do that. This is a really good car. Wow.
All right, so we've just finished showing Chris Ilsley and Ben Aylett from 6PR, our very beautiful 3 Teslas that we're all very proud of. I'm just sitting here now with the chairperson. I wrongly called you the president of TOCWA. So this is Rob Dean.
How you going?
And behind me is Rod Louden.
G'day.
He's got a red Model 3 here as well. So did you want to say a little bit about how it all went with Chris and Ben?
Yeah, that went really well. Chris is a big electric car fan.
Ben is.
Ben is a big electric car fan. Chris didn't know too much, so it was great to bring him out here and take him for a drive in a couple of different cars, and I think he was very impressed.
Yeah. What I liked about Chris is he's a self-acknowledged petrol head, but he came in with an open mind, which was really great to see, and he was more than happy to hear our point of views and try the cars out, and I think he was really impressed with the Model 3.
Yeah, I think Chris was really surprised at the performance of the Model 3 and how it really takes off when you put your foot down. I don't think he was expecting that from an electric car, which is good to see that people are experiencing that.
And this is what it's all about. It's just a matter of getting the word out. Even prominent people in prominent positions, a lot of them have never sat in a Tesla and have never actually taken it for a spin. So it's not enough just to read what you see in the papers. The best thing to do is actually to get in one, and that's where we've got Rob to thank for. So Rob set up the whole meeting, and he's been instrumental in getting a lot of the word out past just the small Tesla community here in Perth. So anything else you want to add? Or
No, I was going to say Chris actually had some good. He had a good knowledge of the coal industry and the solar industry, which was good.
He did, yeah.
And he can understand that it's not a future for this country, the coal industry.
Yeah.
That we've got lots of sunshine and solar is cheaper.
Absolutely. Well, it's free after a solar system pays for itself after about 3 to 5 years residentially, and sometimes even faster commercially. It's free electricity, and it's reliable because the sun does get up every morning. So, all right, that's pretty much it. So thanks for tuning in, and stay safe, stay sustainable, and stay ahead of the curve. See you in the next one.
See ya.
Ciao.